Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coaches Show. As you can see, Coach Stoller is here, the man who's at the helm of the hottest team in 5A West basketball on the boys' side. Let me tell you what, the Harrison Goblins are on cloud nine. They have won 5 in a row. Going into this Friday night, the championship for the 5A West. Whoever would have thought coming down to the Alma game, you'd be playing for the championship?
Well, I'll tell you what, things, after the Morrilton loss, it just kind of had a damper down and weren't sure after the snow, with all the games we were having to back up. But, boy, I tell you what, it sure has been good in the last couple of weeks. It has been a lot of fun at the Spook House.
It's been a lot of fun at Spook House. We talked about this last week during the Coaches Show. It's set up in your favor, having 4 at home. And the 2 road games being on Friday nights, so you don't have to worry about school and everything and the long bus rides for the next day. You got the back-to-back games, both back-to-back nights, both weeks. At home, boy, the schedule played right out for you.
It sure did. It sure did. And boy, I'll tell you what, our student body and all of our fans really stepped up, and we're so appreciative of them. Our atmosphere is second to none, and it was just a joy to just be a part of that, and as well as how well the boys have been playing. It's just been a fun couple of weeks, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Boy,
for a while.
Fun couple of weeks, boy. Coach, you're riding on cloud nine the way they're shooting the basketball. I mean, let me tell you what. Last night at the Bologna game, John Colliver steps out, hits a 3. I watched the coach at Bologna. There's nothing he can do. He just put his hands up and says, what am I going to do? I can't stop him inside. He's going to step outside, shoot a 3. I mean, now, what's next he's going to do to me? You going to throw it down on me?
Yeah, that was his third attempt of the year. Now he's 33% from the three-point line. So I don't know. He may think he needs to shoot some more.
Well, John, don't get no bright ideas here. No offense, but I prefer to see you on the block with the little baby hook if you really want to know the truth.
Yes, I agree with that. I feel a whole lot better about that.
Than I do him jacking up one from 19 feet away,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Well, speaking of the, we'll go back here. Last week, went to Siloam down at halftime. It was a real physical, tough game, defensive battle. You got out of there with a win, which was important for you. And then come back, had the weekend off, and then went to Huntsville. Huntsville came here, big rivalry game. I thought when I did the broadcast on the TV, I talked a little bit about is, in my opinion, at the time, Huntsville had more to play for than you did. You had already gone locked into one of the 4 spots. You knew you were going to Alma to play next week. Huntsville was still fighting because of the schedule that they had to play. They seem to have more to play for. Not that you don't get up for a rivalry game, but I'm just saying is you could see Huntsville coming out and maybe wanting to get a little bit more out of it because it was a rubber game of the match as well. But they kind of rolled over after that first quarter.
Well, I think 2 things. I think they felt they might have had a little wind out of their sail when they played so well the first quarter. And yet, I think they were 7 for 7 from the three-point line, and to be down 1 point after that, it kind of can be demoralizing. And I think that played a little bit of an effect on it.
I think that first quarter was such an emotional high. Both sides, both teams shooting extremely well. You come out in the second quarter, you kind of punch them in the mouth a little bit. You get them dazed, you get them up by 10. And then the next thing you know, you go for the jugger and you put them up by 20, and they're sitting on the bench. When he kind of threw in the white flag and put in took Trumbo and Emmett and everybody and sat him on the bench, I'm thinking, man, is this really the Huntsville team that I'm used to seeing? I mean, that's just not his way of doing things.
Yeah, I think what he's thinking is he kind of threw in the towel on that one, but they had a real important game on Tuesday night at Greenwood, and I think he was thinking along those lines. And they were a little bit tired, and he wanted them to be more fresh for the game on Tuesday night. So I think that was kind of his motivation at that point.
Yeah, they were. Huntsville's a good team, but unfortunately, they're still fighting for a spot. I mean, there's no guarantees in the fight. The only thing that right now that's for sure is yourselves and Alma going to be going in there, and the rest of it is still up in the air for Friday night.
Yeah, Siloam clinched the spot last night
with the win over
Alma.
Okay.
And Huntsville's in a situation where if they win, they're in.
Okay.
Any tie with Greenwood, Huntsville wins all the tiebreakers. So, they control their own destiny, and it'll be interesting to see what happens Friday night between those 2 teams as well. But hopefully the Goblins will take care of business on Friday against the Airedales.
That's what. Let's talk about that because I'll be honest with you, Coach. on my Sports Dungeon show. Brandon Cohn and I do a little prediction show, and he went on record back in October and said that the Goblins would win the 5A West, and I said they'll make the playoffs. So I'm right now. He could be right, and he could rub it in my face coming up soon. I just thought that the 5A West is so competitive, and Alma, I don't need to tell you how to coach, but McCoy is the whole deal over there at Alma, and get him in his place is even, he knows all the nooks and crannies of that gym.
He does, and he's a load, and they have really good shooters around him, and he's very tough to contain, and we feel like we have a great defender in Kendall Martin, and he can do a job on him, and he did here, and Kendall will go in with a lot of confidence. We have a lot of seniors on our team. Excuse me, and feel like they're highly motivated, and we traditionally have played well in that arena. So we're going up with a lot of confidence, believing in ourselves. I think we trust each other a little bit more than what we did, and we're going to need that. We're going to have to play our best game of the year to win it. But that's the way it should be when you're playing, for a conference championship.
I want a couple points I want to bring up here during this segment. I thought Alex Rose has played well over the last 4 games. Things that I've seen of improvement, not taking that 23, 24 footer that sometimes you're saying, man, let's make a pass. Let's do something. Let's not force it at this particular point. Don't need to. I need you to be a little smarter. I thought he's made a much better shot selection decisions for you, and by doing that, he's scored 29. I mean, he's been able to recognize he'll still get the point totals that he wants. He's just being smarter with what goes on. And the other point with him is the help defense has been extremely well coming from the backside, people not seeing him, and he did it extremely well against Huntsville, especially with Trumbo. Trumbo had no idea he would just collapse on him, and the next thing you know, he's going the other way.
Yeah, he's learned the system throughout the years, kind of learned on the run, and he's really finding himself within the system and doing a great job for us. We have really 2 point guards in him and Blake. They both handle the ball equally well, and they both see the floor and shoot the ball well, and they're learning to play together each and every night, and feel like right now he's kind of found his way into the system and figured things out, and I think it's showing here lately.
It has really showed well. Big John has been a stable all year long. It was kind of a sad moment last night at senior night with them all going and saying goodbye last night. From Mikey Andresen to Blake. To Big John, Kendall Martin, Taylor Briley. That was a nice deal you did for him starting him last night.
Well, yes, Taylor is a player on the team you got to have. He's a leader. He's a quiet leader. Never complains. Just shows up every day, on time, works hard, does what you ask him to do. The ultimate teammate, and we sure are appreciative of that kind of attitude and that kind of work ethic. And he is a fine young man, and we're very glad to have him. Been very glad to have him as well as all the seniors for the last 3 years in our program.
And putting him in late in the game really added some validity to what you did for him to get him in and everybody got to play last night. But you got him some extended minutes because there's been a lot of times this year that he hadn't been able to get off the bench, and you feel for those guys in their senior year.
Yes, you do. You do. They work very hard, and they're great teammates, and deserve to get in there when they can get in there and do their thing and play and have fun.
The success of the 3-point shot for you guys has really been phenomenal. You were averaging double digits per game. Last night you had 11. The one game that I've done that you didn't hit double digits was you hit 8, and it was kind of an odd deal. But that's really, I think, has really shown the ability for Big John to be able to get the ball and kick it out, because it's forcing teams not to be able to double down on him, because with the 4 guys on any one of them can get it and shoot it.
Yes. We're very tough to guard there. People are having to give up something because I don't think there's anyone in the conference that can guard him one-on-one. And we just try to find where the double team's coming from and try to take advantage of that, because we have confidence in all of our guards that they can shoot it, and fortunately for us, they have most of the time this year, and right now they're really shooting well. The biggest thing is spacing. If we keep good spacing, make them cover the whole floor, it sure does make it tough on defenses. And it starts with John, as we have stated, and he's a force, and He in 27, I think, last night. So we're really pleased with him, and he's as good a passer as he is a scorer.
Oh, phenomenal! Almost a triple-double a couple nights this year with the blocks. I mean, phenomenal. Speaking of blocks, last night. Good buddy of mine, good family, Mikey Andresen with some of the blocks from behind. I think he got a little confidence there late in the game. He got 2 of them from behind, and all of a sudden he went up to one and got a foul on it. But man, Mikey, I'd never seen him leap that high.
Mikey he's an athlete now. He got them long arms. He's strong.
I mean, he just was up there.
He did. He pounded that thing against the backboard. He sure did. It was good to see, and he's hard to shoot over too. If he just plays with himself defensively a little bit, we try to get him to keep the guy in front of you and make him shoot over the top of you. He's hard to shoot over, and he's done that numerous times this year against the guy he's guarding. He was a big key. We had all of our guards were in foul trouble and played Isaac McCoy the first time, and Mikey was one of them that came in and did a real good job defensively. I know the bulk of the defense was Kendall Martin, and he did a great job, but we also had Mikey on him some, and Mikey did a good job on him as well.
I'll talk a little bit about Jackson Dorman real quick. Has really stepped up his game over the last couple. Came in, Kendall Martin got in foul trouble, and he stepped right in there. He has done fantastic. Minutes have been limited because of the flow of the game. You haven't been able to get him in as much. But when he does he comes in, you're not missing a beat when Kendall sits down.
No, he's a great defender. He keeps the ball moving, and he's a good shooter, and he's an excellent rebounder. Excellent rebounder. He did that, I think, against Greenwood. Came in and got a couple cleanups on the board and put the ball back in the basket. And he's had a great attitude throughout the year because he is a good athlete and a really good player. And there were some games, it's that role that's really tough to handle sometimes. Sometimes you're going to play maybe a minute or two in a game. Sometimes you're going to play 3 quarters. And but he's accepted that role, and he's done a very good job with it. And he's going to help us down the stretch this year as well as in the next year.
Have you started to scout for who you're going to play next week?
Well, we think we're not sure, but we think it's either if we're the 1 seed, which we hope that we are. I think it'll be Paragould at this point, and 2 seed will be Forest City at this point. That's what it looks like.
Ought to be exciting.
Yes.
Looking to Alma. Coach, appreciate you being on here week after week. Next week, we'll bring you in and we'll be talking about the state playoffs, and we'll go from there. Coach, I appreciate you being here week after week. This has been the Goblins Coaches Show. Till next week, I'm your host, Lauren Tepper, and I appreciate coaches being here. We'll be right back.
All right.